Thank you. I appreciate your doing that, and thank you, Mr. Chairman. Now, President Trump has made the North Korean nuclear crisis worse by threatening fire and fury, by vowing to totally destroy the regime, and by engaging in name-calling with an unstable leader in North Korea. The president's struggling to deal with North Korea, which already has nuclear weapons and is advancing its capabilities, but he's also about to create another crisis by suggesting that he may not certify to Congress by the October 15th deadline that Iran is complying with the nuclear agreement, which so far has prevented Iran from getting a nuclear weapon. Now, the president has already certified twice that Iran is complying with this deal, and if he fails to certify again next month, then he could blow up the agreement and Iran may restart development of a nuclear weapon. I get it. Iran supports terrorism, engages in human rights abuses, works to develop ballistic missiles, but I think it's easier to counter Iran's destabilizing behavior if it has no nuclear weapon than it would be if Iran had a nuclear weapon. So, Ms. Thornton, if the United States causes the Iran nuclear deal to fall apart, would it make it easier or harder for us to resolve the North Korea nuclear crisis through diplomacy?
Well, I don't really want to speculate on a hypothetical, but I do think that it is very important to hold countries with which we have agreements to account for the implementation of those agreements. And in the case of North Korea and in the case of past agreements we've had with North Korea, we have seen that these agreements have been undercut by North Korean
Well, I understand you're concerned about their undercutting. The question is about our undercutting. So far, the Iranian nuclear deal is working. And my question is, if we blow that up, does it make it harder to get to an agreement that the North Koreans could believe in if we try to negotiate with them?
Well, our objective here is on denuclearization with the North Koreans. We know that they are engaged in a lot of other nefarious behavior that is concerning, but I think what we would want to focus on is that the agreement covers all of the provisions.
Okay, but I'm asking about the relevance of blowing up the Iran deal on trying to get a diplomatic solution with Korea.
Yeah, I mean, I know that there's speculation about what's going to happen with the Iran deal, and I'm not the Iran person, but we have, of course, the Secretary has certified compliance the last 2 times, so I can't get inside the head of the North Koreans and tell you how they look at it.
Okay, I'll just quit, because I promised I would, by quoting Adam Zubin, who said, "Great nations do not play games when it comes to their international agreements. Doing so would be especially short-sighted when we're trying to convince the world to join us in a North Korea sanctions campaign whose stated objective is nuclear diplomacy." I think he's right, and I think President Trump would be wise to take his advice. Thank you, Mr. Chairman.